fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today with kind of an opposite video, I guess. You may have seen my video on diamond painting supplies I regret buying. If not, I'll stick a link to it up there. And as I've gone through my diamond painting journey, I've tried all different kinds of things. As you may know, if you're following the channel, I set diamond painting goals for myself every year, and I'm on my way to 10,000 hours of mastery. So maybe once I hit that, I'll consider myself an expert, but for now, I'm just kind of figuring out what works for me. And so after talking about all the things that I've tried and that I kind of regretted buying, I thought I would share with you the things that are kind of my essential diamond painting supplies, things that I would be lost without, I think, if I had to try and diamond paint without them. I'm sure I could do it, but I wanted to share with you some of my kind of go-to tools. So what you see here is kind of your basic toolkit, the thing that you get with every diamond painting. It may look slightly different, but these are the basic things. You get some kind of boat or tray to put your diamond paintings in. It may be a green boat or another color besides white. It may have a spout, it may not have a spout, but it's some kind of tray with lines in it for you to line up your drills. You get a plate or several plates of wax. Usually it's one square. This one is a more of a rectangle, but you get some pink wax, and then you get this, usually this pink diamond painting pen. This one happens to have a multi-placer attached. Some of them do not come with multi-placers. You literally just get the pink pen. Can you diamond paint with all of this? Yes, you absolutely can. But if you spend any time at all diamond painting, this is not at all conducive to having an enjoyable experience. The tray is too small. I struggled with the pink wax for probably at least 6 months, if not longer, trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. And this diamond painting pen is not at all ergonomic. It's fine for something if you're just going to complete some kind of small painting, but if you're going to do any kind of diamond painting on the regular, this just didn't work for me. So what's the first thing I did? The first thing I did, because it was kind of one of the things I saw the most, was tried different diamond painting pens. I have carpal tunnel, and holding a little pin that this skinny, trying to do things just didn't work for me. So I went on a journey to find diamond painting pens. And what I found was kind of a plethora of things. You can find inexpensive diamond painting pens. I like this profile because it's much chunkier, so it's easier on my hands. You can get custom pins that are much more expensive. You can get ones from budget diamond painting companies that are not as expensive, but they're just easier on your hands than the pink plastic pens. I actually have a whole collection of diamond painting pens, some that I spent quite a bit of money on that were custom, some that I just picked up here and there and weren't that expensive. And that's what I use when I diamond paint. In addition to not liking the pins, I don't like the tips either. And quite quickly along my journey, after discovering pens, I discovered metal tips. You can get metal single placers and you can get metal multi-placers. You don't have to use multi-placers. Many people don't. Some people single place everything, and that's cool. I diamond paint a lot, so I wanted to have something that allowed me to diamond paint a bit faster, and that's what the metal tips do for me. And you can get these all kinds of different places. This one happens to be a Diamond Art Club tip. This one is from Cat Eared that I get on Amazon, but you can get them. There's a place called Everlasting Tips on Etsy. I've bought from her before. That just made my diamond painting life much easier. The next thing that I wanted was a different tray. These trays are fine, but they're very small. And even though I have fairly small hands, when you're working on a big diamond painting, this just doesn't hold enough drills to make multi-placing. I mean, you're constantly replacing the drills in the tray. You can do it, but it's just not enjoyable, or at least it wasn't for me. So after trying many different trays and trying to figure out what worked for me, I've kind of stuck with two that are my kind of go-to. This is the one that I use most often. This is a cat-proof tray. They are on Etsy. This is their Lean Boy size. And I have a bunch of these because I was trying them out for my tower method. I like the pour spout being here on the inside. These do come with lids. I don't typically use the lids, so I store them elsewhere. But I find this is a nice size for my hands. It holds the drills really well. It holds quite a bit of drills because the sides are quite tall. I just find myself going back to this one over and over again. Now, occasionally I want something a bit bigger, and my other go-to is Bella Art de Nicole. Again, it has a lid. This is their 2.0 tray, and these are the ones that I like the best. They have the ones that have the stoppers on the ends. I don't like those. I like having my pour spout right here. It just makes it easier for me to pour it back into containers and whatnot. So I have several of these that I will pull out. As you can see, they're a little bit bigger than the cat-proof trays that I use all the time. So if I'm working on a larger project and I want something a little bit bigger, then I'll use the Bella Art trays. The next thing that I think I would be lost without is my replacement for the pink wax. I struggled for a long time trying to figure out what I was doing because I would end up, it seemed like every 5 drills, having to replace the wax in my pen, and it was leaving wax all over my drills. I am what people call a heavy placer. I press down pretty firmly when I'm placing drills, and this was just an exercise in frustration for me. So what I did was I switched over to glue dots. Glue dots come in many different sizes and packages. I've got the mini dots here. I've also got micro dots on this roll. You can use whatever size you want. I didn't even realize, someone pointed out that these are permanent ones. They are permanent, but you can put them in your diamond painting. I use them in my single tips. They come right out. I just use tweezers to pull them out, and I don't have a problem with it. So I use those in my single placers. But for my multi placers, I actually use the Quake Hold Museum Putty. And it's just this white putty that I break off and kind of roll it into a little snake. And then I press it into the multi-placer that I happen to be using. And for me, I find it works way better. The glue dots and the museum putty work way better for me than the pink wax. Your experience may differ, and that's perfectly fine. However you want to do it, it's up to you. I am excited to try out. I have seen people saying that they used glue lines in their multi-placers rather than the putty. I haven't tried mine out yet, but I'm excited to do that and see if it works better than the putty. The thing for the putty for me, I like it better than the wax, but it can be temperature sensitive. So if it gets too hot in the house, like if we're having a really hot summer day, even though it's cool in the house, it's still warmer than usual. And so the putty gets kind of gummy and sticky, which is not always the greatest. If it does that, I either pop the putty or the pen into the refrigerator for just a few seconds to kind of firm it back up, and then I just continue diamond painting. But these are kind of my go-tos. If I sit down to diamond paint, this is what I've got near me. I've got a pen, I've got one of these kinds of trays, I've got my glue dots and my putty loaded in my pen, and I'm ready to go. So these are kind of the essentials for actually putting the diamonds on the canvas. But I also have some other things that have become kind of essentials for me. And they don't necessarily have to do with putting the drills on the canvas, but just make my overall diamond painting experience better. The first one of those is release papers. I keep my release papers in this little folder here, and I just have all different kinds of ones. Some my daughter's made, some I've purchased, and some are just kind of generic. Some are ones that I bought. This is ones that I bought on Amazon. But I have ones like when I was doing my Daphne kit, I have bubbles that I made for Bubble Fairy. I have ones that I've made for particular kits that I was doing. My Jetsons kit that I was doing when I was doing Jasper C. I've got ones in here from when I was doing the Kindred Spirits kit that I made. And I just really enjoy making the diamond painting release papers. I find that fun. And I do not like the clear plastic cover sheets. I don't like having to cut them. I don't like all the crinkling mess. For me, this achieves two things. It lets me section my diamond painting because each paper is a section. So when I sit down to diamond paint, I typically complete at least one section. And it lets me have cool things to look at as I'm diamond painting. So rather than overwhelming my brain with the rest of the painting, I'm able to just pull off one section of the release paper, diamond paint that section, and then if I'm done diamond painting, everything is still covered. If I'm not done, then I can peel off another section and keep going. So I really enjoy making my own, and this is where I'm storing them. The next thing that is kind of my go-to is my favorite storage, and that is my Elizabeth Ward storage. I bought these. I have 6 of these, and I have a cube, a wooden cube that holds these trays. The thing that I like about these is, one, they come with the lid. I don't use the lid when I'm diamond painting, but I like it when I'm storing these away. And I like the modularity of this. All of my trays are this setup with the 3 extra large, all of these large sizes, medium sizes, and then small sizes. I have extras of all of these different containers and in each size that I purchased off of Amazon. They have knockoffs too. If you want to buy some from a budget painting company, they carry them as well. They're not exactly the same. They look a bit different. The plastic is a bit stiffer, but they're less expensive. So if you don't want to pay the price for the Elizabeth Ward, they also make a tray that comes with nothing but these very small containers in them. So every row is filled with these very small, if you're interested in that. But this is my favorite way to kit up my diamond paintings. And the reason that I like it is because I have so many different sizes, it's modular. And I can pick out, I'm going to put something that I have a lot. For instance, if I was doing my Hannah Lynn that had the 11 bags of black, I had these very large containers, and I think I can fit typically 4 bags of Diamond Art Club drills, pretty big bags, in one container. If I don't want to use these, then I can get rid of those and I can pull out my extras, either from the extras that I purchased or from other trays, to use the small ones, or any sizes really, because like I said, I've got extras in all of them. So I do use bottle cases. Those are kind of my second favorite. But for most paintings, especially a lot of my premium kits from like Bella Art Diamonds or Dreamer Designs or Diamond Art Club, those kind of places, I will use the Elizabeth Ward trays because they typically have more colors, and there's usually at least 1 or 2 colors that are going to be enough in quantity that I'm going to need to use the very large size. So that's kind of my go-to. And you can find the links for most of these in the video description of the box. Typically, each of my video descriptions will kind of have links to all of these things because I use them on a daily basis. They are, like I said, kind of my go-to diamond painting tools. 2 other purchases that I would be lost without are my diamond painting funnels. I have 2 funnels. This one is for my Elizabeth Ward trays. It's made to fit the Elizabeth Ward. It clicks into place and you pour the drills in the funnel, then you pull it off and you close the container. Easy peasy. I love it because this is so nice and wide that you just kind of dump everything in, it funnels it down, and unless there's a lot of bad static, you're done. Everything's good to go. This one I get a lot of questions about. This one I got from Sasha's 3D Printing on Facebook. She doesn't have a link to a store or anything. I just contacted her via Facebook and asked to purchase one of these, and then she'll get with you and get everything taken care of. This funnel, I also get lots of questions about. This one is for my bottle cases, and you just slip the bottle in here, and then you have this funnel where you pour all of your drills in. There is a bit of a gap when you put a bottle in here. So if you have a lot of static, you may have drills that fly out and don't go down into the bottle. There are ways around that, but it doesn't happen enough for me to be worried about it. And I love this thing. If I'm going to kit up in my bottle cases, this is what I'm using. So these are kind of my go-to things. These are not everyday use like my pens and my trays, but if I'm kitting up a kit, I'm probably using one of these because I'm using either my Elizabeth Ward storage or I'm using my bottle cases. So, and these are sold by Bella Art Dana Cole, so you just have to go to their website. They sell all different kinds of funnels. I believe they also sell funnels for the Elizabeth Ward cases, but I just had the one that I got from Sasha's 3D Printing, so that's the one that I use. 2 other things that I use a lot of that are not everyday things, but that I would be lost without, are my static guard and my goof off. You've seen my static guard before. My trick for the static guard is I spray it onto a cotton swab, and then if I have a bag of drills that has a lot of static, I will just swirl the cotton swab around in the drills. Presto, no more static. If it's really bad static, I may have to spray and swirl a couple of times, but this has never failed me. I've tried the dryer sheet method, cutting it up, putting the dryer sheets in with the drills. I've tried putting them in the freezer. I've tried alcohol. I've tried pouring them out on the dryer sheet, but pouring them out on a dryer sheet and then having to rub every single drill across the dryer sheet, especially when it's a kit where you may have 11 bags of black. I just don't want to spend the time. For me, it's much easier and it's more time effective to just spray it on the swab, swirl it around. If there's still static remaining when I put the drills in the storage, whatever I'm using, my Elizabeth Ward, my bottle case, whatever, I can do the same thing. Spray it on the cotton swab, swirl it around inside whatever container if I happen to have some drills where some static is remaining. The goof off gets used when I'm done. So when I'm using my Elizabeth Ward or my bottle cases, if I'm peeling off stickers, and for the bottle cases, if it's a bottle case that doesn't have washi tape on the top of it, sometimes the stickers leave residue. And I spray a little bit of goof off on an old rag. I wipe it onto whatever container I'm using, and presto, all of the adhesive is gone and my containers look brand new. So these are two things that I would not be without. The last thing that I want to talk about is, well, the last thing that I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk about a few other things, but the last thing I'm going to show you is my diamond painting logbook. If you followed the channel for a while, you know that I provide my diamond painting logbook for free. You can go out to my shared files and download them for free. It's just a PDF and you download it. It's just a place for you to keep a log of what you're working on. I keep a log of what project I'm working on, some information about it. Is it full? Is it partial, square, round? How many colors? How many drills? Is it poured glue? Information about when I ordered it, how much it cost, when did I complete it, any notes I may want to take on it, did I complete it for an event, and then I keep track on the back of here of my time. And then there's a place at the bottom here where I can keep track of, or keep the stickers that come with the kits. These I typically just print on here, so it all just comes out with one sheet. I used to use the stickers that came with the Diamond Art Club kits and other kits, but what I found was it made my diamond painting logbook kind of thick because I would have essentially two sheets of paper because the stickers would be an extra thickness of paper, if that makes sense. So event planning, I keep track of my stash and what I've used in it. I keep track of all the diamond paintings I've completed. So at the end of the year, I know what diamond paintings I've worked on, what they look like, and any information that I might want to use. I've got a little tracker in the back where I keep track of paintings that I've completed, how long they took me to complete, etc. And again, not an everyday thing that I use, but something that I definitely use. At least the page for the kit that I'm working on, I use every day because I track my time. And again, that's available for free if you're interested in that, because I know there are people out there selling diamond painting logbooks. Diamond Art Club has a virtual one, an online one that you can use now. You can use an app like GemsFlow to keep track of it, however you want to do it. I just really like my analog pen and paper method, and I have fun designing it. I have different designs each year, slightly different each year. I think my 2023 and 2024 are the 8.5 by 11 size, but the one before that is the smaller size, like 7 by 9.5 or 7.5 by 9, something like that. So all of those are available for free. You can download any of them that you want, or all of them, whatever. So those are kind of my supplies that I absolutely need if I'm going to diamond paint. These last things that I'm going to talk about are not tools per se, but they definitely are supplies that I would be lost without, and I will just stick pictures of them on the side of the screen. The first one is my adjustable table, and I will stick a link up in the corner. I did a video once upon a time about my workspace when I first got the adjustable table. It's a table that goes up and down. So I can be sitting while I'm working or I can be standing. And because of the issues with my knees and some other things that I've got going on, that just really makes it easier for me to work. In addition to the adjustable table, I have a lamp that I use to kind of directionally light my diamond painting while I'm working that I wouldn't be without. And of course, my comfy chair. And it's just a slightly more padded chair. It's on wheels because I'm on carpet, so I can roll a little bit easier moving back and forth from the table. It just makes for a more comfortable working space for me. Again, your mileage may vary. You may have a completely different way that you work. I'm lucky enough to be able to kind of spread out into different places in my home. Lots of people don't have that option, but those will be things that I'm taking with us on our journey to Canada. My table, my desk lamp, and my comfy chair. My chair, depending, that I could probably replace pretty easily, but I would need a comfy chair. But definitely my adjustable table and the lamp are going with us because, again, those are things that I use every day when I diamond paint. So that's it, guys. Those are kind of the diamond painting supplies that I would be lost without. Leave me a comment down below. Are any of these things that you absolutely are go-tos for you that you have to have every day? Were any of these a surprise? Is there something I didn't mention that you absolutely would not diamond paint without? Leave me a comment and let me know. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.